Hello, watchers, runners, and gods of the time stream. Look to your left and dodge the explosion. Look to your right and try to catch all the urns. When you're done, pick a side. Team Force of Evil, Team Force of Good, and join us to talk about all things the Dungeon Run. I want to let you guys know, I don't know why Failwaffle isn't here today. Honestly, it may have been because she put Julio Jones on her bench in American Football Fantasy. She's embarrassed to show her face today. Who knows what her problem is? But regardless, I'm here to host the show for you guys today. I'm glad you guys are here. This is exciting. We have a very interesting watch party today. We have a very colorful bag of personalities to join us for the Amulets Council. We have That Gamer Share, we have Chef Scott, and we have DiceandCapes today. Also, we're doing the first watch party edition of the Hunger Game version of Ein. I don't know how to say it, but it's it's gonna be fun. It was brought to us by Bubblegumi, and it's basically where some NPCs and characters in Ein are gonna go head to head versus members of the community in a Hunger Games type thing, and it should be interesting. I don't know the winner. I have absolutely no idea how it ends, and everybody wanted it that way, so that should be very interesting. Hornet says, as long as I kill Whitebeard, I'm good. That's rude. Rude. I liked how Hornet did say that we should take votes and we should take bets on who's going to win, because that's exciting. So that's at the end. We have so much to talk about in so little time. And like I said, let's just get started. Let's bring on our amazing council, DiceandCapes, GamerShare, and the amazing Chef Scott, who is joining us for the first time on the watch party. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey.
So we are I kind of thought it would be fun if we set it up very similar to the style of the show. So we're going to talk about the hero portion of the show first. We're going to have a small little video, which I'm hoping most of you have seen by now. And then we're going to switch gears and talk about Fahima, because there is just so much going on. With that said, first of all, when the explosions happened with the map and the fire, how cool was that in the map room? The heroes are standing there, they just lost their comrade, and things are blowing up. I wanted your guys' thoughts on kind of how the party initially reacted at the start of their portion.
Well, first of all, always, first and foremost, respect to the map room. Amanda and team, let me tell you, those flames, man, I was like, oh, wow. That, I mean, when Ron was talking about how this is the literal meme of this is fine.
Yes.
He was not joking. I was like, oh gosh, are they even gonna make it out of here? Like, wow, yeah. It was great work.
Yeah.
I found it a little bit interesting that they were more afraid of that fire than they were of the actual fire elemental that they fought.
True.
As soon as the map room dropped down, and also not just Amanda but Thomas, great work. But as soon as that map room dropped down and there's fire, James lit up. And I was like, wait, they reacted worse to this than they did when there was something standing in front of them about ready to pounce them.
Well, the volcano was erupting.
And then there was a volcano too. But fortunately, Lily prepared correctly. She closed her eyes.
Well, I love how Jeff said, so you know how like there's the top of a volcano, and someone did build a castle on top of the volcano, quite literally. So for me, how do I not just dive into Civ's very emotional reaction? His instant gut is, which way did she fly? And I'm going, and I'm going, and my goal is to try not to cry because y'all see me cry too much on the stream. I know, but when he just took off using all of his skills, all of his abilities to try to get to her, and then when he did, and the description, the way her body was found, too emotional. I want I want you to go first so that I can collect myself.
Girl, you trying to make me cry instead. I mean, Jared at all times, Jared Kajak is a master of pulling heartstrings. We all know this. And the way that he played Civ in that moment was absolutely believable.
Oh yeah.
Vic is a person in Civ's past that not only just has history, not only did they work together, but as we heard through his poem, they grew up through the streets together. They dreamed about better times together, a time in the future where, they could be happy and rise above, the tough circumstances that they came up through. And when he jumped through that fire, like any lady that's watching right now that's ever seen Backdraft and seen like, Kurt Russell jumping through some flames, okay, can understand. Like you guys in chat, I know you guys have had, your own, time when you just felt that strongly about someone. But I feel like for us ladies, it was like 10 times that, like, just that romantic idea that is common throughout Hollywood, like the dude that'll just go through literal fire for you. And I almost feel like in that moment, if it was a situation where Fahima was trying to save Zanelka like that, I feel like she might have taken a page out of Civ's book. I'll tell you that right now. The whole episode kind of just had those themes of the love that you have for someone else, even though they're on the other side of things.
Okay, well, I definitely no. Continue.
Yeah, no, that's what I had to say before I start crying on stream.
I'm with you. So I do wanna step in here. Chat is already at it. Mazakil and Lily Dumblestuck fan. Mazakil said I wanted to hate Civ, but I couldn't. And Lily Dumblestuck fan said, I knew it was only a matter of time before Civ abandoned Lily. Okay, well, please, everybody.
He did. He did.
Okay, please hold my phone. First of all,
wait a minute.
First of all, I do wanna. Ouroboros in chat countered with, he didn't abandon her. He left her with James and Ugo. Fact. Secondly, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. No. I didn't say this enough last week, so I have to say it now. Vic gave the ultimate sacrifice of love and pure love for Civ when the moment she knew that the Ashen Mage wasn't going to take him, she sacrificed herself. She didn't even think about it. It was all about him. And I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but we are 67 episodes in, and Vic in 10 seconds showed more genuine love and genuine self-sacrificing more than Lily has shown Civ in 67 episodes. Okay, and that is his oldest friend, his first love, and I do not blame him for wanting to go and just be with her in that moment. Okay, I'm done now. All right. Gordon Plate says, "Preach success, pancake."
Look at Dice. Come on, Dice. Weigh in here.
Yeah,
First of all,
come on, man.
First of all, for
Come on.
for this entire show, all he does is he does poems, gives her gifts, and then all of a sudden a volcano's going off, erupt him, and he just runs off and leaves her there. I don't want to hear that he's with other people. No, that's not how it goes.
What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
First of
He
all,
just lost the person he has considered the one thing he has
bad enough
related to family.
it's bad enough that he, even though it wasn't their choice, he sacrificed her family again, and then he's gonna run off and leave her when a volcano's going off. That's twice now.
It's pretty much an understood after, being explained to be flung thousands of feet. She's not going to stick the landing.
Exactly.
Not at a 10.
Not even if she was a tabaxi.
No.
Nope.
And look, their relationship, from what's been described, the best word to use is tumultuous. It always has been. Even from when they were growing up, yeah, probably the only family that she ever had and he ever had. But it's always she was using him to further either her wants or maybe their wants.
But and remember, she was also working with the people who almost destroyed Bingle.
Yeah.
But she was misguided. Now I will say,
that's not an excuse.
This is Team Force the Good talking, okay? So I feel like she was misguided to the point where she wanted to take him with them. If she was totally just all about evil, forget everybody else.
She wanted to take Civ.
Yeah,
true. Which is what I'm getting at. She had that capacity to still love him. She wanted the best for him, and she thought that what she was promised would come through. But she was blind to the fact that the Ashen Mage, she who must not be named, had had one agenda and one agenda only for herself, and was not going to honor that. But I feel like Vic was misguided, and that is proven to Failwaffle's point that that's proof positive that she had the capacity to love, and that she really wanted the best possible thing. She believed in the Kool-Aid that was drunk. Okay, so it does not excuse the fact whatever actions that we don't even know she did up until that point, but I can see her point of view.
I just want to state for the record, even though Failwaffle's not here, I know Failwaffle agrees with me, because we both think that Vic is we don't agree very often, but man, is Vic not just this amazing person. Also, I just love how I didn't know that was okay, hold on.
Even
maybe
Sid
not.
Says she was
hold
an
on.
amazing person.
When I say a lovely person, I mean that she had a lot of qualities that are very emotionally in tune for me. Okay, so
well, I'll say this, Success Pancake. I think Failwaffle might also agree with me that it's not. I don't think that Lily is keeping Civ at arm's length because she's trying to figure out her own stuff right now. Let's be honest about that, because she, being a good person, now has to wrestle with the fact that this young, half dragonborn, half water genasi that she saw as an innocent child in another time, in another place, after all he's been through, now she's got to confront him as an adult, and he's on the opposite side of things too. And on top of it, he's the one greatly responsible for her home being absolutely devastated, her family being enslaved. I feel like Lily is actually being respectful in a way. She is working through her own issues before she just latches on to anyone romantically that would have to help her carry that weight. I just feel like once she figures out what's going on with her, then she could probably be more forward with Sid. But I'll tell you what, it hasn't passed me at all, the shade that let's talk about some shade that Ugo's been, like the extra special shade on the slide. Come on, see if you agree with me, okay?
Okay, hold on, folks. So final thoughts on that thing, because Cher, I agree with you on the fact that regardless of what she's feeling, I do think Lily was very respectful. I agree. I think Lily, which is not shockingly in these times, she was very in touch and not in touch, that's the opposite. She's very good at not reacting emotionally, right? She was very good at keeping the respect level and letting Siv and Ugo and James react, and kind of her being the neutral one. I do want to say Jackson Williams said it in chat that Vic was siding with who she thought was the winning side.
Which doesn't
Ultimately,
make it right.
okay,
Nope.
I didn't say it made it right. I did not say it made it right. I didn't even say Vic was a good person. I said beautiful person. However, the point is she was doing what she had to survive, which I think is why her character resonates with me so much, because her and Siv both have done a lot of bad things in their life, all about survival, and Vic just never left that mindset. And so when Siv said, "It's okay, love. You don't have to fight anymore. I lost it. It was so good." So I just wanted to say that because it was very emotional for me. And then he wanted to read her the poems. Okay, he wanted to show her a different way, and he never got a chance to. Okay, and it was very sad. And I'm legit gonna stop because I will cry. I will. I can't. It was so emotional for me. Now I will agree with you. What was with Ugo's shade? His first shade started way back when he said, and I quote, "If Sid wants to be stupid, let him go and be stupid." Oh dang! Ugo, for me, this hit me hard. Ugo shade all around the episode, because Ugo, regardless of what's happening, he's the one who's very he allows emotions. He's always been the one that's been the more compassionate one. He's always been the one that's like, I may not agree with you, but I understand you have feelings, I understand you have emotions, let it out. He's always been that supporter. So throughout the whole thing, he was just so almost unsympathetic, and so not understanding, and it was a little confusing for me. I was like, what's going on here?
I get the distinct feeling that Ugo is waiting. He is waiting for that one moment, the one moment that he betrays Lily.
Siv is giving him many chances.
But she doesn't have to run far.
man.
She's already in the backpack. She's
that
already
little mini conversation where he almost beat Siv to the punch. Talk about the value, which is Lily, and he's like, "I said it," and he's like, "Yes, you did." Like, you know, like, you better have.
It's very true.
I think Ugo knows it's just a matter of time, as Siv's past has proven. It's just a matter of time. It's a waiting game for Ugo, in Ugo's mindset. As he speaks with his heart.
Mm.
He always says he's unintelligent, but he's a very wise person.
Mm-hmm.
But he speaks with his heart, and he speaks it compassionately and out loud. He's the passionate lightning rod for the group. You know, it may not come out at the appropriate time. It may not come out at the appropriate level, but it's always appropriate because he's usually right. But this is the one thing that he's not talking about. He's that dude. He's that guy that's like, okay, you want to be with a football jock? Okay. I'll just hang over here at Peter Parker for a while.
Yep, just wait till he makes a mistake.
Yeah, it'll come around. It'll come around.
Yep.
Just the waiting game.
Interesting. So you guys, do you agree, Joey? All three of you think that Ugo was waiting for that chance to really lay into Sid?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or let Sif trip on his own tail.
Especially after with the whole thing with Vic with the poem, and it was the same poem with Lily. Yeah. And they all heard it.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. I feel
Which,
I'm very outvoted in this
brilliantly
council.
played by Ron always. I mean,
Yes.
you know, he plays Ugo true to the hilt every time, I find. So, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel. I guess. I think that the party is so far been very understanding. Cam the Fog Pal. If Civ wants to be stupid, let him be stupid, as if you wouldn't do the same thing. I think that's kind of what I'm trying to say right now, is the fact that they've always been so understanding. They've been such a good group at whether they should or not, to be honest. They have forgiven each other. They have always. What you have a pact with you've been lying to us about who you've been talking to this whole time. Fantastic. We forgive you. What, we all just murdered some some little halflings. We're all good. Like, they've been so understanding of each other's faults and what's been going on. But man, Civ goes after emotionally. He goes after the one person, and now all of a sudden we're not going to be understanding. Now, Ola wants to take a stand.
It's a very different thing.
Well, it's funny because the archetype usually is when the paladin of the group who is righteous, they stand in their righteousness concerning what's good versus bad, very black and white for that type of archetype. Ugo didn't start out that way, though. I feel like he's starting out the reverse archetype, which was gaining power and being powerful was the primary motivation for Ugo when he started out in life. And then when he met this group and then also came into the presence of the Candle Queen, now on top of it, now he has his ancestors behind him as those higher spirits that have guided him. Now he has the Candle Queen, who he has sworn an oath to fight on her behalf. I feel like his righteousness is taking him slowly but surely into an area that it's to a fault.
He's very conflicted because, like, when they were trapped and he was calling the Candle Queen, his anger and rage conflicted with him trying to talk to the Candle Queen. And then throw love into it, and it's gonna mess everything up. It always does. Especially when there's a triangle like this.
Yep.
This is when she's right back there. It's not like she's usually right back there.
Right.
She's right there.
So I'm sure that he's working through his own issues as well.
Yeah. And I do want to say, even though I'm clearly outvoted in this council today, but I will say, the one thing I did like that Ugo said, and James very emotionally commented it on as well, is when Ugo said, Bahima didn't, she said no to power, she said yes to family. And that was that. Okay, Ugo, you and I have beef right now, but I will agree with that statement. I thought that was beautiful. And James too, like, she said no. Like, I think everybody, I don't know, you guys tell me, and chat, you tell me, but I think the party, and I think we're all on board that in the end of the day, Bahima really didn't have a choice. And I'm very happy, relieved to see that the party isn't also holding that against her.
You know what? I'm gonna drop this bomb right now. I'm waiting for Ugo and Fahima to go get a room. Okay. I mean, you have a devotee. You have a devotee to a goddess of flame, versus a fiery Genasi born who. She gets that same vibe with him. Remember the conversation that they had about, being upfront and being honest, and, it makes no sense to skirt around certain issues. She approaches it from an analytical mind, but he approaches it from his own perspective. Like, I'm here to help you. You're here to help me. So if I'm angry, I'm going to come out and tell you I'm angry or whatever. You know what I mean? So I feel like that would be kind of a smart match there. It would be dynamic to see it. But I can see it. I will ship that right now.
Ugo is definitely enamored with her. She'll kill us all. He loving that power.
Yeah, he says that in awe.
Yeah, that makes for a good combination behind a door that's closed.
Yep. Hashtag I ship that. Yep.
I told you guys I brought a very, very colorful bunch of personalities on today. I love it. I will gladly watch your ship, from way over here, Cher, from way over here.
You
But I
you
love it.
chilling on your ship with the ghost of Whitebeard there.
Oh yeah,
Ooh, too
we're
soon?
way too
I'm
busy
sorry,
on our
honey.
ship, if
Too
you know what I
soon.
mean. Way too busy.
The ghost ship.
The ghost ship. That was rude.
I'm
Moving
sorry.
right along.
And
Anyway.
as Ron says in the chat, desire can grow from respect.
Oh,
True.
hi Ron. We're not.
Hey,
We're
Ron.
talking about
Anyway, so then let's while we time. I do want to switch over to the next part because Ron, I don't know if you've been here, but you just missed one heck of a debate. Anyway, I do want to say, what did you guys think of moving to the Warden Vision?
I loved it.
The Warden Vision was intense.
It was.
I wasn't even
amazing.
there, and it was intense.
Yeah, it
And
was amazing.
I want some of your guys' thoughts. I've passed because I didn't want to hear stuff about Behemoth. We haven't talked about Behemoth. We don't know what you're talking about.
Yet.
But moving right along. Yeah, so I wanted some of your guys' thoughts without getting too much into theory. But what did you guys think of Lord Airband kind of making a reappearance in the show?
Well, to me, it just still playing with the whole age thing, and that's a side thing for me because you keep saying he's 120 years old, and
Oh gosh.
we're going. I'm not going to go into time travel. But I think it.
So Scott is a huge Lord A fan. In case anyone is.
I am, and I have a bowl ready for you later. But it was nice to see because it kind of helps with okay, do the wardens know anything? Do they remember anything? Obviously, one does, but how does the one warden have these memories, or is the key, or however you want to theorize it? How has that always been the one, but not all five of them? And now it makes sense because we don't actually see it. It's assumed because everybody else is covered up in mind buggers, but everybody else doesn't see what's going on. I think, and of course, it was a perfect cliffhanger ending, as if Jeff never does cliffhanger endings to begin with.
Oh my goodness.
This is his first one. It was awesome. It was his only one. That was a good way to end it.
So I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think of just this idea? Everybody's been talking about it. It's definitely how Jeff started out too. The idea of Lord A, the wardens all agreeing to just not knowing the knowledge. I want Joey, I want your take on just like, okay, yeah, let's just hide this knowledge. Let's hide this from everybody and ourselves. Like, what are your personal thoughts on that?
Well, it had to be something really big that they decided to wipe their minds, and that the fifth warden almost went through with it and then realized that she would never see her daughter again. It had to be something huge. Why else would they wipe the memories of everybody to stop something probably really bad from happening?
How bad? You automatically think bad.
Yeah, it has to be something bad. Why would you wipe everybody's memories if it was something good?
Yeah. And how did Lord A wipe his own memory?
I don't
think he did.
So he is the true keeper of secrets.
Yes, exactly. I don't.
He's the one who knows everything for sure. I think that's pretty well established.
Oh, the Ashen Maid should have got him.
I just find it interesting. There's been a warden out there this entire time that knows everything, and went into hiding. Where'd they hide? Yep.
Well, I have some theories which I'll put in the no cast on later. But it's again, the Civ. If the Civ scene didn't already have me in tears, when Jeff described her reaching out and screaming, "No, I won't forget my child."
Yep.
Just end scene. It was just like.
And not to mention Aarakocra showing up to take the baby.
Yeah, I had to look up what that is, but I was like, oh, okay. And I wonder how they're gonna come into play later.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure the baby's in hiding somewhere.
Oh, it's so exciting!
Yeah,
okay.
if I remember correctly, there's an elemental plane that Aarakocra actually originate from. So the fact that if the child needed to be hidden away, sending them away with the Aarakocra would be really good, because then, you know, they could take them to a different plane entirely. So
Oh, is that how that works? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'd be very
Yeah.
interesting to see how Jeff
Ooh,
makes it into
I
the
should
universe.
really learn things.
Yeah.
So, final thoughts on the hero party portion of this episode. Final thoughts, anyone? Besides Vic, it's great and you guys suck.
I loved it. No, I love the Sith scene was great, even though I don't agree with everything or surrounding it. That entire scene was heartbreaking. The entire Warren thing, you know, I've said it a million times. I love lore when it comes to sci-fi and fantasy. So when the Wardens walked up to them, and all of a sudden the amulet went off, and they flashed back, and Jeff started talking about like the same stuff that had happened, but now we're gonna learn more. It was great. I had a big smile on my face. I was at work. People were wondering what the hell was going on. And the whole part when she was the thing that you said about that she didn't want to forget her child, it just broke me. And after that, I was like, can it be next Wednesday already? I want to see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Never said that. Never said that.
Oh,
I think for me, and I'll do the shortened version. For me, the end part, I'm only curious to see how Civ's reactions to Vic, the reading of the poems, the cradling, the stuffing into the body bag of holding, how any of that is going to affect Lily's perception of him. I mean, I think that it should. I feel that it should. I feel that there may be some negative connotations there. I don't know, but I'm willing to see that. It's not on the big spectrum, but I'm curious to see how that'll play out.
Well, I just no, go girl, go. Sure.
Oh, I was gonna say, for me, being the hopeless romantic that I am, just my heart was breaking at every moment, with every part of the Civ Lily Vic love triangle, the Uggo Lily Civ triangle, the just all the dynamics that were you know, going through that part of the episode. But then Jeff, in true form, manages to make it like the most icky, one of the ickiest episodes ever. Forget about it started with the smell. How about it started with like favorite phrases, for example, little brain spiders.
Banners.
Intellect devourers. And that tentacle guy. Oh, don't even start me with that tentacle that was like writhing around on the floor by itself. Oh my gosh. And then spatters of DNA and goo. Jeff's description of the splatters on the floor that Fohima and Nego ended up being. So yeah, and then just it was There was plenty of creepy crawly to break up the.
I'm with you. I had a very clear, not so fun image of what it looked like for sure. My final thoughts are: I didn't know that this not so existent love triangle was going to be such a hot topic for our community. So honestly, I too am now very interested in how that is going to play out. I will say, I think it'll be very interesting. I guess we should just leave it at that. I love your new shoot, by the way, Cher. Like I said, I'm gonna watch it from afar, but I can't wait to. If it happens, you're literally gonna be the first person I think of, and it's gonna be hilarious. So with that said, we're going to do a quick intermission while we go through the time warp ourselves to go see what's going on with Fahima. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna dive in. But last episode was ended very depressed. I ugly cried, people. Ugly cried. There's no joke about it. And so I figured for our little intermission, again, hopefully you guys have all seen it, but I just want to remind you guys that it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be.
It started as a simple dungeon run. Doubt is a broken record that plays inside my head. I try to turn it down, but I can't quite drown it out.
Life is pain.
These never-ending finding worries, pulling on my sleeve. So many times now I was supposed to tap out.
Oh, we're falling through space.
Anybody would tell me is all that bad news, how it's gonna fall through. But no matter what they say or what they say, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. No matter what you've been through, here you are. No matter if you think you're falling apart, it's gonna be okay. And there is a battle raging in your heart, but you must win. It comes for all of us, saying we are not enough. So fight for your life. The world's gonna try to sell you some lies. So many times now I was supposed to tap out. All the walls would fall down around me, or anybody would tell me is all that bad news, how it's gonna fall through. But no matter what they say or what they say, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. No matter what you've been through, here you are. No matter if you think you're falling apart, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
The island of Bingle is safe once again. You may return to your homes.
For Margaret! For Kelmop! For Jelly and Tiff! For Bingle!
It's gonna be
I am weeping. Yeah, it's very well done.
No matter what you've been through, here you are. No matter if you think you're falling apart, it's gonna be okay.
He loves you and you love him back and you know it! Does it look bad?
No, it looks lovely. Humankind. Be both.
Welcome back, guys. Sorry the other people didn't make it through the portal, but we sure did. You guys knew what I would do. Of course I'm gonna go jump into the portal and hang out with the villains. Of course I'm gonna go check out what's happening on the baddies camp. Welcome, my amazing crew. I actually heard that Cher and Success Pancake were throwing a little shade my way. We're gonna have to talk to them later. We're here to talk about the baddie camp and the Fahima episode. So, oh my gosh, welcome guys. You are all fantastically beautiful people and better than the others, in my opinion.
As it should be, of course. You look great yourself.
Yes, darling, of course.
I love it. Okay, so much to talk about on this end too. I want to start right at the top with how you guys think of Fahima praying to the Candle Queen. I want your guys' thoughts. I know we talked about it. We talked about it a little bit in Fahima's JLP's interview yesterday. I want your guys' thoughts on that because I have opinions, but I want you guys to go first. Go.
Honestly, I'm going to throw this out here because I love it. I took a snapshot of that. I'm going to put it on Discord because she's praying and the Candle Queen's like, leave your name and number at the meat beat. Right?
That's funny.
They say that prayers are always answered. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes the Candle Queen just defers at the voicemail. I thought it was kind of funny myself. A little bit. A little bit of a reach. Kind of where did that come from kind of thing, you know?
Yeah,
Like
it was
all of a
definitely.
sudden,
Yeah, it was definitely a reach. Foolish girl. No,
better with
no,
sloppy
no.
toast, you know.
It was a reach because, to Ugo's defense, actually, he literally put blood, sweat, and tears into his oath. Okay. I feel like he was the one to actively reach out, dedicate himself to her. It is lovely. The Candle Queen is a benevolent goddess. So, I mean, it's when she can, when she has time, because she's very busy.
Yeah, I got you.
If she's able to listen to said prayer from some other person that is not one of her acolytes or one of her paladins and such. But it was definitely a reach and a Hail Mary, which is understandable because the situation was dire. I mean, I think we can all agree on that. So, but it's certainly a lesson, I think, to try to rely on the divine as a Hail Mary at your 13th hour, as opposed to cultivating that relationship before
Yeah.
you start praying for stuff. So
I don't think
Prayer,
I don't think
prayer,
she was trying to
prayer.
devote. I
I'm
don't think
sorry.
she was
Go
trying. I don't think she was trying to devote herself. I think she just wanted to do it so she didn't feel alone. Since she's away from her friends. She Zanelka's there, but she can't be helped by her. So it just makes her feel a little bit better that somebody's there that she's like watching over her type of thing. Not so much that she's like gonna devote herself to them, because not everybody's gonna become a paladin that believes in the pantheon of Ain.
Okay, so I agree with Slice and Dice. I think that I said it yesterday. I've been saying it. I do think 100% everything Fahima did in this episode was out of desperation. Now, I think. Side note, I thought it was a little barf-tastic, but it was really cute when she said, "Even if you don't watch out for me, watch out for Ugo." She's still thinking of her family. But side note, I do think on that note of her being so desperate, I told JLP this yesterday, which by the way, if you haven't seen the interview, check it out on the YouTube channel. I was honestly just like, no, what are you doing? I felt like in her state of desperation, she showed the Calcutta, and she showed Yanmo all of her cards. I think she kind of just threw at everything she had. I think that when it comes to Yanmo, she was just like, here's all the information I have on you. Knowledge is power, guys. I think, if anything, Calcutta has been showing us that. And I think she just kind of threw it all out there. And I don't know how effective that's going to be with Yanmo going forward.
I think she decided to take her shot when she had it, because she doesn't know if she's going to be around him by herself again. So she could have done it the first time, and she didn't do it. But then she realized, this is a second opportunity, and I better take it now in case I don't have another one.
Well, we already saw in Thurless she wasn't a good poker player.
Yeah,
Now she's not a good poker player. Prayer is based on dedication, not desperation. That's the problem.
100%.
That's not entirely true, though. There are plenty of people that aren't religious that, if they're like
Well,
at their ends, they're
in
gonna
this
do it.
particular case,
They're
in
gonna,
this particular
they're gonna
case,
do it.
though.
Yeah.
I will say, I love that you said that, Sinister Scott, just because don't misunderstand me. Everything Fahima did was so in tune with her character. She's not charismatic. She's not a good poker player. I think it made perfect sense on how it played out for her. But that doesn't make it me less as a watcher. Just like, oh, it's fun to kind of watch the chaos kind of happen. I wouldn't have wanted Fahima to do it any other way. But I will say, man,
You also got to remember that this happens right after she went through the portal. It's not like she had time to like sit down and like plan stuff out. She was taken right to the room, and then she realized Anelka was there, and then she saw Yanmo a second time. So she didn't plan this out. She had no time. She just had to make a decision to leave her friends after like this gigantic battle, and she witnessed this explosion, this urn explode all over the place, sending like an atom bomb everywhere. And then she went straight to this base. She didn't have time to like think of anything. She's just doing whatever she can to survive. She doesn't even have the night to sleep on it yet. At this point.
Yet.
No, and to JLP's credit, She played her character right.
Yes.
She
100%, and I agree
everything
with
she
that.
did.
Yes,
Agree or
absolutely.
disagree doesn't really matter from the role playing point of view. I love it because she did exactly what Fahima would have done.
Yep.
Agreed, but I will say, even after I gotta say it, even after getting a night's sleep, I still, I still feel, and again, right up on cue with Fahima, I just as a watcher, I was just like, what is she doing? When she so quickly turned on her friend, so to speak, and played the like, Calcutta, I'm 100% your loyal servant. I hope we have so much connections. She went as far as to call her dad a liar. And I will say, I don't think Calcutta is buying any of it. I think she even hinted when she said, by the way, I want you to be honest with me and tell me what you're thinking, even if you disagree. Loyalty's a fickle thing. I think that was Calcutta giving a little nod, like, girl, I see you. And I don't think you realize I ain't buying what you're selling.
Of course she's
That's
not.
that same thing, like when your mom, you know, kind of catches you up and says, well, if you have anything to tell me, now would be a good time. That's almost like
Yes.
that's like the hi-fi, like, yes, she knows that you're lying, so she's giving you a chance to come clean, almost. And
Yeah.
speaking of mom, okay, is it too far of a stretch to think that the Ashen Mage might actually be uh I don't know anything secret, but could she be Fahima's mom? Like, can I float that rumor right now? Like,
How
what
about
do
you
we think
float
about
that?
that?
How about you float that rumor right into the no cast zone, right in
Nope.
there.
Okay.
Put me on the no cast train.
But I,
I had
yeah, I will gladly
I
respond to that in the no cast zone for
yeah,
sure.
I had talked to. I mentioned to Jess that one of the reasons this was one of my favorite episodes was Deep Space Nine is my favorite show. It's a Star Trek show, and there's one season where you see the side of the villains, but like Fahima's in the enemy camp in Deep Space Nine. Odo was in the enemy camp, and a lot of the enemy didn't trust him, but the founders, who were his people, did, and it backfired on them because they should have listened to the other people because they weren't on their side. It was all a sham to be behind enemy lines. It happened. This episode had a lot of stuff that reminded me of Deep Space Nine, like that one season, and that was one of them. The whole Fahima trying to play each side, even though some people may not believe her, other people may, and you have to sow seeds in different people to try to get reactions out of them, and then go down the path which is working for you. That's the only way she's gonna survive this and get out of
So
Renee Bourgeois, we miss you dearly.
Death Wayne 25 in chat says seeing both sides can help you see the whole picture. And I know I just realized I didn't even rate this episode in the beginning of my thing. That's how excited I was to just get into it. But I did want to say I really loved Jeff's risk. I loved exactly what Deathwind said. I love the fact that he split the party indefinitely for now. I love getting to see exactly what you said, Slice, like the whole what's going on with the baddie. As viewers, we are getting a full picture,
it.
but while the party still has to figure it out, while Fahima still has to figure it out. And I love it. I love it so much. I won't lie. I was surprised he did that. I was not expecting that. But I love it so much.
I mentioned this. I've been waiting for that moment because I expected this moment was going to happen. Whether the choices made in the game, because you never know what happens in D&D, actually went down that road. I was hoping forever to see this moment, and hoping that we would see the side of the bad guys, because that type of storytelling always intrigues me, and I love it. And it makes not only do you love the good guys, but it also makes you, even though you don't agree with them, love the bad guys also, and that's what was happy to see.
Yeah, we got a peek behind the curtain. We seen Ertenfurt is a little worried. He's a little nervous. He
That
doesn't have
name
it
makes me
figured out.
smile every time.
Every time.
Erdenfurt.
But to listen to him talk about square one, like, yeah, you just may be, but to have that peek behind the curtain where they're not always the upfront bad guys. They're nervous. They're worried. They've got to reformulate. They've got to figure things out. it's good to see. It's good for us to see.
Yeah.
Not the players, but everybody else.
And to be fair, to more of what Slice was kind of saying about you think this is gonna work. Calcutta, even, well, I don't know who else fired up on the other side of this portal, but even Calcutta's not like her point of view isn't necessarily wrong. The thing she's telling Fahima, the fact that like, hey, we can use this. They're suppressing us. We're just bringing it back. The fact that she's showing her a new group of people and how I think Fahima might get a little too wrapped up in learning these spells and learning this knowledge, and I agree. I just think Fahima's in over her head, and I don't remember who said it in chat. I think it was Vanderslice. I think that Calcutta knows exactly what she's doing, and Fahima, even though she's trying not to, she is biting hook, line, and sinker, and I'm so excited. And I do want to bring up and ask you guys your thoughts on. Here's why I think it's so brilliant too, because Calcutta is being relatively very honest. I think she didn't dilly dally on any of the questions. When she straight up said, "Why am I here? What's going on?" Fahima didn't say it in those words, but Calcutta answered her. Calcutta said, "You're a wish, and that knows no laws, and that knows no bounds." I think it's pretty dang clear what Calcutta is after. And if I were Fahima, that would scare me even more to be with her.
But she's also holding back still a lot of information. She didn't like say like about Fahima's father. She didn't say where he was, why he was there.
And I think that is where I was like, Fahima, what are you doing? Calcutta wasn't, she didn't have to try hard to hide it. Fahima didn't push. Fahima didn't ask her, no, really, why can't we see my dad? She didn't push those questions. It made it easy for Calcutta to just be like, cool, I didn't even need to really answer that one. Awesome, moving on. Like,
but it's totally fit, because if we take a step back and realize that Fahima is basically the little sister of the group. Even Lily, shorter in stature than her, is older than her, age-wise. So, you're talking about barely young 20s, maybe? Question mark? I mean, I feel like she's still a high schooler, if not senior high schooler, fine, but she's still a high schooler, I think. And she, as far as she has grown in her story arc up to date, she is still just desperate for any way to reunite with her dad. So it totally fit that she kind of like just latched on to, okay, she's got information about my dad. Any way that I can get closer to that information, it rips my heart out to see her react so readily, because I totally believe that she's in over her head. How she handles that right now, oh man, I mean, I can't wait to see.
To steal a quote from Star Wars, delusions of grandeur. Because at this point right now, she's living under the auspices of, Ugo is telling me I could kill everybody. I'm the most powerful thing. She's learning this new magic. Who's been finishing off people at the end of the battle with a big spell and stuff. So she's got this real, and again, and I agree with Gamer on this one, or excuse me, I agree with Cher on this one. Is that she is over her head. I think she's over her head because as she's grown in her story arc, she's become very powerful. Not just actually powerful, but from what everybody's telling her is that she's powerful. So now she thinks, you know what, I can mix it up with these guys. I can get in her rub elbows with the Ashen Mage. I'll fool one on her.
And powerful quickly.
Yeah.
Nothing more dangerous than a young person who realizes their power too quickly.
And we have no idea how long the Ashen Mage has been doing this, but I bet it's been more than more than 60-something episodes. So to assume that, I'm going to walk in here and I'm going to try to, hey, we're friends, we're buds, 100%, I'm on your side. No, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to. I think the Ashen Mage would let that propagate for a while, and then boop, pop that bubble.
Just like she did with Vic.
Just like she did with Vic.
Deep cuts there.
Foretelling.
Ah! So I do want to ask you guys in a show of hands in this amazing villain shindig we're having, who liked the dead animal spell, the inhabit a dead creature? Who liked
Oh,
it? Who liked it?
well, I may
Sorry.
have. I know that my evil goody good twin gamer shared totally hated it, but I was totally a fan.
It was
I know I
it was
was.
disgusting, but now you got to think how it's going to come up down the road. Why did Jeff
Mm.
come up with the spell?
It's got a purpose.
Yes, exactly.
I won't speak for my other friend, the chef. Yeah, you didn't get the bacon on that one. It's a dead pig. I got it. Whatever. It was blood, guts, and gore. It was perfect. It was Lord of the Flies with the Ashen Mage. I was a happy man.
So chat made me happy. Cosmic Room 9 said, I like it. And Brandy said, where was the Hamlet code on this one?
Right? Yeah, I think
Liked it.
people in chat live were talking about that, like Hamlet.
Yeah, we
No,
were. Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
Hamlet.
More
That was
like
Hamlet.
hamburger, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ham sticks.
I definitely wasn't. I definitely wasn't expecting that when he was like, and then you see yourself. Like I was just like, oh, what is happening right now? But honestly, it so excited. I can't stress enough how into the lore, how into the conversations. I'm so excited to see what spells the Ashen Mage has to tell her and show her next. And on top of that, don't answer necessarily. It's a rhetorical question. But what spell is Fahima readying to cast for the Ashen Mage in the next episode? Right? Like she was like, "I'll show you a spell," and I'm just like, "Oh, which one is she trying to show?" I have thoughts, but it's just, oh my gosh, this episode was so good. Final thoughts is I totally failed to keep this at an hour. I'm blaming Success Pancake for this. But what do you
Took up way
guys?
too much time.
What do you guys think? Final thoughts. Keep it brief. Go. Sinister Scott, you first.
I like it. I like it. Again, I'm a fan of the dead pig. It sends a good message. I like where this is all potentially going, and I'm really interested to see how much of this water Fahima's going to be able to tread before she starts going down a little bit, because I believe she's in over her head. She's in the deep end of the pool. No lifeguards, no responsible adults, no floaties. We have issues. Let's just watch what happens.
Oh, I'm not going to read it out loud, but Aunt Jedi, I swear if that's the spell, that would be so ironic and hilarious. So ironic and hilarious.
Animate bacon. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Graveyard Share and the better version of Share. What do you got?
Well, it is the curse of the young to have that attitude and that swagger, and hopefully it won't get her into trouble that's tougher for her to handle than she can handle. But I do fear for her though, because if she is the product of a wish, we just hope. I wonder if Ashen Mage has the power to reverse the wish. You know what I mean? And like harness that power. That's what I think anyone that loves Fahima would be concerned about right now.
Mm-hmm. Most of my thoughts for this episode, I promise, I will put in the no cast zone because I have a lot of thoughts and opinions floating in there. I seriously loved it. I eating a lot because it's just like I have no words at the end of this episode. I'm really excited to see hopefully the emotional backlash between all of the characters on both sides of the portal. I'm looking forward to seeing how Fahima actually acts. She's asked some questions. She's got her bearings. Maybe she'll switch her strategy. I don't know, but I'm excited to see what Fahima actually, her decisions and where she stands moving forward in this episode. It's going to be interesting. And Slice, I did not forget you. Go.
This is just the start of Act 2, and things are already looking bad. And Act 2 is usually when it gets a lot worse before it gets bad. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens the rest of Act 2.
You're looking forward to the destruction is basically all I got from that.
Yes, because it's always it gotta get a lot worse before it gets better.
Introduction, conflict, resolution. Now we're in conflict. And I think if knowing Jeff the way that we do, this is just the tip of the iceberg for conflict. It's going deep and it's going wide.
And we're gonna get a lot of lore.
Oh yeah.
So excited! Thank you, amazing villains, for joining me in the second half of this amazing talk today.
One quick thing.
Wow.
You didn't give them all rating, so I will. 10 out of 10.
Oh,
Jeff.
don't
10
start!
out of 10, Jeff.
Nice. Beat her to the punch.
No.
Right there. 10 out of 10.
I give
It's
this
official.
No, it is not. I give this episode an official. I will give it an 8.9 out of 10 balls. 8.9 out of 10 balls. But it was very good. You guys are amazing. I love you all. We have to segue now. What is this episode? I love us so much. Fimic says, yep, 10 out of 10 miles, in fact. Brandy said, I want to hear what Heather and Leah has done for the music. Okay, Brandy, real quick on the music, because I wanted to point that out. The moment, I think Leah and Heather are amazing. But for me, I think this was one of my favorite music parts with Heather and Leah. The moment where she took off her hood, it was that music that played. I'm actually really hoping it is the Ashen Mage's theme song, or the Drow theme song in general. I'm hoping. But it was so spot on, and I was so in the moment. It was amazing. And yes, Brandy, your song is awesome too. Just you're beautiful. But yes, that scene, it was this perfect tone. Honestly, my favorite song that they've plugged in. I can't wait. I'm really hoping we hear it every time she takes off her hood, or every time I can't express how much I love that. It was amazing. I give Leah and Heather a 10 out of 10 this episode. So we're gonna dive into it now, guys. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this, and I apologize. But we are ready to do our version of the Hunger Games thing. Here are the players who is registered. Now, I have not seen the ending results for this, and I'm going to go through you and let you guys know. We're going to go through a little story and tell you all about how this tournament went down in the world of Ein. Take a look. Take it in who is in this tournament. I swear, no one's taking out Whitebeard, no one's taking out me, and Urtenford, me, and Whitebeard are going to own this. Oh, Brandy says, I hope we win, Waffle. Me too. Me, Brandy, Urtenford, and Captain Whitebeard. Let's go. What happened the very first night? Okay, so the very first night, Hornist is like, I'm not even going to wait for day one. Hornist just takes a hatchet and stabs Homebrew Ash in the face. Doesn't even mess around. Hornist is on it. He didn't even want to wait. Everybody's getting supplies, and Hornist takes out Ash. Let's see what happens next. So listen, guys. I was so distraught for Homebrew Cat that Homebrew Ash died. I didn't want her to go through this whole time without her partner, so I pity killed Homebrew Cat so she can be together with him. Now, Kaibuck saw this. And was like, hey, we're starting. So she decided to shoot Civ in the face with an arrow. Sorry, Civ, no sneaky, no stabby. You should have been Team Whitebeard, just saying. So you guys are already 3 down, and I don't even think we're on night 1. What's next, Joey? So then Kaibuck is so distraught that he shot Civ in the face that he asks Behemoth to kill him. And Behemoth's like, whoa, it's good versus bad. We have to work on this together. Let's not do that. And then Erdy goes to Brandy, and he's like, look, you have to kill Jackson or Dab. It's for science. And she's like, whoa, I don't even like science. And Urtenfurt was like, wow, that's rude. So she killed her. Sorry, Brandy, you should have believed in science. I'm sorry. And then, wow, Cam. So the Ashen Mage and Whitebeard and I were trying to get into cahoots with each other, but while they were talking, Cam accidentally set off their explosive, and I pushed Whitebeard out of the way, sacrificing myself to kill him. And I'm just saying, Cam, you better not win. Just throwing that out there. Let's see what happens. We're still on day 1. Oh my God. Vic I'm sorry, Vic doesn't like dads and he doesn't like pools, so Vic decided to just take you out, Deadpool. You are out. I'm sorry. You were never meant to be. And now Whitebeard and Urtenfurt are getting together. Team Force of Evil is congregating. What's next? Dadpool says typical fail. That's not typical me. It's not. You should have talked to Vic about liking pools. I don't know. That's not my problem. So here, Cam the Fogfowl, Kaiba, Akuna Matata were like, hey, we're great. We're going to get together. We're going to surprise these guys and take them out. But they all failed their stealth checks. Vic, James, and Bubblegumi were like, y'all are cute, and decided to stab him in the face. All three of you in one go. Maybe you guys should have been a little bit more stealthy. Sorry. Told you, Cam, you weren't going to make it. Next. Oh my god. So Kaz, we all know Kaz. Kaz Farrett is great, and he's such Team Force of Good. And he was like, look, Behemoth, I found you. We're going to work together. Oh, but he tripped, and he accidentally stabbed Behemoth in the face. And it was a pure accident. He was so upset, he just decided to end it there. He's distraught right now, and I don't know if he's going to be able to live with himself. It's very sad. That's very sad. Let's see how Kaz does from here on out. Let's see. Ooh, Jackson is seeing all of this, and he's like, listen, I thought I was going to be cool. I thought I was going to be a badass. It's not happening. I don't know if I want to be here. So he's like, Snake Master, yo, kill me. And Snake Master's like, hello, I'm Team Force of Good. Let's work together. I'm not going to kill you. And he doesn't. He doesn't kill him. That's very sad. It's very sad. Jackson's like, fine, if you won't kill me, I'm going to move on. So he goes to the Ashen Mage, and he's like, listen, really, you have to kill me. But here's the thing. The Ashen Mage thinks it's so hilarious that Jackson doesn't want to be here. She keeps him alive for her own entertainment. And he's like, yeah, heck no, you're staying alive. Also, Erdy, he's trying to test Vic's loyalty here. So he says, I saw what Jackson did. Let's see where Vic stands. So he doesn't actually want to die. He pretends to tell Vic, hey, kill me, what's going on? And she keeps him alive to show her loyalty. So, let's see how it goes from here. Alliances are forming, people. Bubblegumi, who is secretly has a very nice dark side to her, said, look, Ashen Mage, I think I want to be your fifth, okay? You don't need Vic when you have me. And the Ashen Mage was like, you're right. So they get together and they decide just to put Vic out of her misery. Very sad. Oh my god, how sad. And Erdy was like, I'm so upset Brandy didn't do science earlier, so she takes out Dab. Sorry, Dab, you were always meant to be science. Sorry. The Ashen Mage is like, listen, I noticed there are congregating of Team Force of Good and Team Force of Evil there. I actually have to do some damage. She decides to take Uggo out because the Candle Queen can't be into this battle. So she takes Uggo out straight up flat. And Urtenfurt's getting ready for battle. So Cedar, this is what Cetar happened, okay? He has an interesting story. So Cetar was like, hey, I saw Jackson do it, I saw Urtenfurt do it. I'm going to try to trick Hornist. I'm going to tell him that I want him to kill me. He's going to say no, and I'm going to stab him in the face. But what he didn't know is that Hornist is probably one of the most brutal people here. So Hornist was like, yeah, okay, if that's what you want me to do. So he just stabbed Cedar in the face. He was not expecting that. It was kind of sad. And then, of course, Urtenfurt, Whitebeard, and the Ashen Mage, Force of Evil, getting together, talking about how they're going to take this victory. Holla. Hornist, again, is just like, I just can't stop. I'm a force to be reckoned with. And he's like, James, go talk to your Patreon and just, like, kill them. You're just like, we're out. I don't care if you're Team Good, Team Evil. Hornist is, I think, the definition of neutral. He's just taken everyone out. Of course, Whitebeard is like, sure, have the raw meat. I'm going to go get some berries or something. And Bubblegumi's like, oh my gosh, I'm so badass that I accidentally wasn't paying attention to what I ate, and, well, she took herself out. Poor Bubblegumi. Snake Master and Urtenford get into a very good force of evil versus force of good battle, and I'm very distraught to say that Snake Master successfully strangles Urtenford and kills him, and it's very depressing. But stay tuned in the next slide. Snake Master learns very quickly that Urtenford is a force to be reckoned with and science will always prevail, and he actually killed Snake Master by giving him too many wounds, okay? Here's where we are, guys. Oh, I was going to say, I don't know what happens. The Ashen Mage attacks Hornus, but he manages to escape. So here we are, final three. We have the Ashen Mage, Hornus, and Captain Whitebeard. I want quick bets. Who's going to win? Obviously, it's going to be Whitebeard, but I want you, want chat to raise in real quick. Ooh, Jackson says Hornus. Ooh, Brandy, Whitebeard wins, doesn't he? I don't know. Ooh, okay, so half the people want, oh, people are still mourning Snake Master. 1 Ashen Mage, 3 Hornus, and like 1,000 Whitebeards. Let's see it, Joey. Who wins? Hornus tries to sing himself to sleep. Ashen Mage questions for sanity, and Whitebeard cleans water. Well, of course he needs water. He's about to go in an epic showdown. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. What happens? Ashen Mage this season. Oh, yes! See, Whitebeard knew that Hornus was his biggest competition because he has to be the only captain around here, and he poisons his food and takes Hornus out. Sorry, Hornus. Bye. This isn't rich. Wait, and the Ashen Mage bleeds out due to injury. Oh my god! It is the amazing Captain Whitebeard. I really didn't know about that ending. Holla! Whitebeard is, always has been, and always will be the greatest of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw it here on the watch party. DiceandCapes says, not rigged. Trust me, I did not know that ending. Lazy Pixie says, oh my god, Whitebeard wins. In case you were curious, Whitebeard always wins. Whitebeard always wins. I sincerely did not know that ending. I'm excited. This is amazing. Okay, so before we say goodbye, as if there's not enough shenanigans already, I'm on cloud 9 because my man once again perseveres. I want to bring Chef Scott back on before we end the show today. If he, yeah, there he is. F for Fahima. You're not Chef Scott at all. I don't know.
No, I
if
am not.
Okay, I assume you're here for a reason.
I am here for a reason. Greetings, fair watchers. I would like to talk to you today about something I find rather troubling. Fahima, the fiery femme fatale with the flaming familiar phoenix, aka the formerly funny and fortuitous Fahuli, has forsaken the famed foundations of fellowship and friends to follow the firm, fanatical Fae, Ashen Mage, and her faction of fearless followers. Foregone is Fahima's freedom to freely forage the forest and frontiers of Ain, pledging a fearful fealty to the frightful fourth-mentioned figure. This foray, which favors only few fellows, forebodes of fleeting fascinations of a fractured fantasies. From the fortress atop the five former forges, Calcutta Feed formed a foundry that facilitated the formation of a fecal-reeking, frightening force of Formian-like fiends that fought to further Calcutta's foul schemes. Figuring a fatalistic future for herself and her companions, Fahima, fixated by the fanciful feelings for her furry female, and by the fleeting face of her faraway father, found only one form of fortitude, a fast alliance with the hood-festooned Ashen Mage. Her family-like comrades, to include her fretting father figure, the phantasmical Ferdinand, and the fleet-footed feline, stood frozen and frazzled as they watched Fahima bid a final farewell, go forth and fade in a flash. Forsooth, though, a fell facade the fallen Ashen Mage does fancy, will not her foretelling of forgotten and forcibly firebound knowledge of the former forefathers find her perhaps more as a formidable force of good than evil, as has been foretold? Was Fahima's actions folly or forced? Will the former frog find further fortune along the frigid flanks of Calcutta, or is she, like a falcon's floating feather, fluttering and flying faster than a February breeze? Does Fahima's flame flicker more as fate fans her fire? Ah, Follow the further features of the dungeon run to furrow the facts from the fiction. Farewell, oh, and for my finale, for my fascinating and fanatical friend Failwaffle, go Team Foe. Sorry, Fluff Force.
Oh, that was great. Oh, bye, Mr. Fahima. That was beautiful. That was fantastic. Chat was having I fear for Sprinkle Winkle in chat said FNAP. That was beautiful, Fahima. As you fix your stuff.
My stuff.
Lazy Pixie said, wow, all kinds of F's. Fun time. Well, he struggles to fix whatever he's doing. I wanted to thank you guys for putting up with all of our shenanigans in this episode. We had fun. I hope you guys had fun. This week was awesome. Wednesday's tomorrow. Join us soon. With that said, everybody, humankind. People.